All right, so for the first time this season, I'm doing an out-and-out match review because there is a lot to unpack from the cup set that happened last Wednesday when Oakleigh beat Sydney FC 2-1 in the quarterfinals of the Australia Cup to knock us out, to take away the potential for more football games, a home football game as well, and a trophy and qualification to Asia next season. So, yeah, it's a real bummer, and there's a lot to unpack because the game was really awful as a Sydney fan. I went down there and it was more awful at the ground. Like, I've watched a replay of the game and at least there were bits of, play that were average for Sydney, but they were all on the far side of the field and I hardly got to see any of that. For me, it just looked like a shocking performance. I watched Joe Lolly in the first half do really fuck all. I couldn't have said that Lafondra was playing. There was a few moments he had in the game that I could see on TV, but I would have guessed that Lafondra was not playing if I hadn't seen the lineup and I was just watching the game at the ground. It was absolutely dreadful. The first thing, even before kickoff, that I noted was the sky blue kits still look awful. They need to go. They look gimpy as fuck, like a team that is ready to roll over. They look like submissive hentai outfits. Like, it's just, like, it can't be all sky blue. I know it's a small thing, but it's a gross kit. I like a sky blue shirt, but there needs to be some more color on it. It's a nice color, but it's got a limit to the quantity that it can be used, and Sydney FC have well exceeded that limit. So that's the first thing that happened in the game, is we walked out in gimpy fucking kits. Then we conceded really early on in the 5th minute, and the first goal was full of mistakes by Sydney FC. The Oakleigh keeper twatted the ball to not Josh Caballo, that's the gay Adelaide defender, Diego Caballo. He twatted the ball to him, and they were seemingly targeting Caballo on a lot of their goal kicks. I noted another one while watching the replay where they targeted Caballo. He goes up for the header, no chance of getting it, and it goes out for a Oakleigh throw. No, it goes to Yazbek. Yazbek misplaces a pass. It goes out for an Oakleigh throw. Oakleigh throw it in quickly. Yazbek's out of position. Caballo's still tracking back. They put it across goal, and someone's there at the edge of the 6-yard box to put it in. And all of a sudden, we're 1-0 down within 5 minutes. It's bounce backable. It's a slow 5 minutes, but, we're playing a semi-professional side. We should have a golfing quality to them, and we really didn't. We had no midfield. We really didn't look like fighting back. Every time we got the ball to our front three, and when I say front three, I mean Segicic, because he was the only one threatening to do something. Every time we got the ball to him, they really didn't have any options because it was just a long ball. It was either cutting out the entirety of the midfield. There were no fullbacks up supporting them. There were no midfielders getting close to them, or at least not enough of the time. Like, maybe it happened a few times, but it happened. It didn't happen consistently enough for us to constantly be pressuring Oakleigh. Like, Segicic would get the ball and he'd try and create something. He'd try and hold the ball up until someone supported him, and it just took too long. And we just didn't look like fighting our way back into the game. There were some dreadful long shots mixed in with the next 30 or so minutes between the first and second Oakleigh goal. I remember Lafondra took one. Burgess took one that might have actually got on target, but it was deflected out for a corner. I think Caceres took a look at one, and there was a couple. Maybe they might have been after the second goal as well. But there were some dreadful long shots, and they were the only chances we were really getting, was long shots and hoping that Oakleigh fucked up dealing with one of our crosses, and none of that worked out. And then, of course, the second goal came along. No protection for the defense. The player from Oakleigh took a shot, went out for a corner, and this was quite infuriating to see because looking at how we were set up for the corner, we had Alfie standing out near the edge of the 6-yard box to cut out anything short. We had Caceres on the post looking to cut out any near post opportunities, and we had Yazbek following an Oakleigh player who flicked on the corner at the near post, completely cut out having Alfie and Caceres there. It went out to the back post where fucking nobody was. We had Gerd, who's like 6'3", turning around like a truck, which I don't blame him. He's massive. His agility's not supposed to be his fucking, forte. But either way, yeah, there was no one at the back post. Gerd trying to cover. It was twatted back across and it hit an Oakleigh player and went in. But there were like 3 or 4 Sydney players around him, and Caceres was still on the fucking near post, and yet it went in at the near post, which, I mean, it was a far post from the second ball, but it was, near post for where the corner was taken from. And yeah, we went 2-0 down. And the worst part is we had a similar chance where the ball fell to Alfie, and Oakleigh players shut it down. I mean, it was just a direct comparison where, like, at some point in the first half, Alfie had the ball fall to him, and he could only get off a rushed shot because Oakleigh players shut him down on the ball and, put bodies behind it. So they blocked the shot, and that was chance dealt with. But for the second goal for Sydney, like, it was a very similar position. I know it bounced off the guy, but there were 4 or 5 players basically making like a fucking circle around the guy that the ball fell to and bounced off into the goal. Like, it wasn't good enough when there's a direct comparison of Oakleigh being aware and energetic enough to deal with that. So yeah, that was the second goal, and that was the first half. Sydney basically had no midfield in the first half, no support for our forwards. Our wingbacks weren't getting forward fast enough, and we were making errors that were costing us goals. And another thing that I noted just from the first half, I kind of stopped paying attention to it in the second half because I'm quite decided on it, is that Burgess and Caceres are not good enough to be our only creative midfielders. Like, we need someone better creating for the team, because they're good. They do their job. They can beat a player. They can do it at times, but consistently they can't do it. And, they're average A-League players, like above average, actually. Like, and I want them to succeed for Sydney FC. I want them to be playing for us, but I don't think the two of them in the midfield as our only creative outlets is going to work this season. And also Alfie, if we've got no one getting near Alfie or, bringing the ball to him, then how's he going to operate? He's basically going to be feeding off of scraps to get his goals this season, because all he's really got is his shooting. Like, no disrespect to him, but he's not the best passer or dribbler of the ball. He's not that fast anymore. He does run about and try and put in the effort still, but he's just good at the one-touch finishing and scoring goals around the box, and no one's giving him good service. No one's getting near him to give him an easy passing option when he gets the ball up top. He's all alone, and it's just not going to work this season having a player like Alfie up top, because he needs support. We're going to need someone bigger or more technical, or that's better at, looking backwards and bringing other players into play, holding the ball up. And I don't think we've got that. We've got Kaczarski and Paddy Wood in the reserves. Paddy Wood's injured, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see them regularly this season over Alfie, because, they're young players. They can't play every game of the season. So yeah, something's going to have to be done about Alfie just being all alone up top, because it's not a good look. And yeah, that was the first half. It got a bit better in the second half. The wingbacks got forward a little bit more, but there were still errors. It still wasn't very well worked. It was quite slow. It was quite robotic in terms of movement. The only player that was kind of trying to do something unexpected was Segacic, and he's really been the highlight of this cup. We had an offside goal. Actually, Yeah, we had the offside goal in the second half, which apparently wasn't offside, but I didn't rewatch the replay enough to, bitch and moan about it, because honestly, it doesn't matter. We should be beating Oakleigh, and it's a disappointing performance either way. But at least, yeah, Segicic was getting in the box, and he got pissed at the assistant ref as well, which is good to see. Like, just a straight up, what the fuck, or whatever. Like, no, I don't think he said what the fuck. But yeah, he at least he looked pissed about it being a bullshit call, if it was. And then the highlight, which is, a low light for me in the second half, was around the 75th minute. Had we scored yet? Yeah, I think we actually scored before this. Segicic got across to across in the 6-yard box and put it in, got into a good position. Again, done really well to do that. So, yeah, we got the goal. And then afterwards, in about the 75th minute, Oakleigh had a free kick on our halfway line and sent the ball into the box. It was going towards Grant. It was coming down to him, and he either pulled out of volleying the ball away or just air swung really softly and gave Oakleigh a great opportunity to make it 3-1. They scuffed it, or put it just wide, really. But, yeah, Grant air swung at the ball off a free kick and could have absolutely seen the game put to bed right there. And then within 30 seconds somehow, because I think they were showing the replay, we had moved the ball up to halfway. We had the numbers on Oakleigh. Ryan Grant was bringing the ball forward. He had Robert Mack, bursting on the overlap into the box, into, perfect crossing opportunity. The same spot our last goal came from in terms of a cross. And Ryan Grant just absolutely poked at the ball, chipped it up, kicked it way too hard. It was just a wrong pass on every level, and that was the saddest moment of the second half for me, because it shows how much Grant has declined over the last year and a half, where in 2019 he was the best right back in the A-League and it was inarguable. Then in 2020, basically ever since he's got sent off against City in that, end of 2019 2-1 comeback game, he's just not looked the same, and he's kind of gotten progressively worse. He had the goal in the grand final, which was awesome, but he's lacking in standout performances, and that was just really sad to see that he should have cost us a goal. If it was against an A-League side, he would have cost us a goal. Down one end, and then he makes up for it, brings the ball forward, has an opportunity, and it was a relatively easy opportunity. It is fuck upable, but within fucking 30 seconds of nearly conceding and it being your fault, he makes the same pass. That's not why he was crap. He was crap this game too. That's if he had a good game, I wouldn't be complaining about that. But it was just quite indicative of the overall performance from Ryan Grant, which was, crap and disappointing. And when I say crap and disappointing, I don't mean it as oh, fuck your legacy, you don't belong at the club anymore. It wasn't good. I would rather Ryan Grant be at Sydney FC than another right back, but it needs to be better or we're going to be fucked for this season. So, yeah, that was just disappointing to see. And Caballo wasn't much better either. I felt that he was getting targeted on goal kicks. I think I said that already. And he wasn't living up to that. But, he is a 5'7" defender or something. But otherwise, yeah, getting forward, as I said, neither of them did it in the first half. At least he tried a little bit in the second half, but it wasn't good. Some of his set pieces were okay, but we didn't score off any of them. Nothing extraordinary. And he just looked a little bit shaky on the ball again, which is kind of surprising because I thought he had a decent game against Central Coast in the round of 32. In fact, I thought Sydney were good for a bit of the Central Coast game in the round of 32. We sucked for a bit, then we really grew into the game and got good, and then we had the excuse of oh, it's extra time, everyone's tired, young players on. So I thought the Central Coast game was quite good, but obviously at this point it's an outlier. And I mean, Central Coast didn't go at us, didn't put the pressure on us that these NPL teams did. And, you know, they nearly and then did get results against us. So, yeah. I don't know. Caballo was meh. So have I spoken about everything I wanted to speak about? Alfie, Burgess, Caceres, the debuts of Robert Mack and Joe Lolly. Honestly, like they weren't good, and I am kind of pissed at the whole like, oh, new signings, give them time. Like, they had a couple of weeks and they've been professional footballers. Like, I mean, they could come close to having earned like more money than that entire Oakleigh team in their footballing careers. I mean, that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but you know, it'd be maybe both of them together. Like, they should be here and reasonably fit with a week of training, be able to come on and outclass semi-professional players. I mean, I know there was Italiano in the squad, but he's fucking 40 and he wasn't ever that good in the A-League, I don't think. So, yeah, it wasn't really a good debut. I mean, hopefully there's more to come from them, because if there isn't, then we've been absolutely ripped off. But yeah, like I don't want to slander them too much, because it is their debut and the team didn't look that good. And ultimately, I think the problems in this team, unfortunately, fall on Steve Corica, because like, you can't just tell a team a formation, tell them to be positive and go win games in football. You're a professional manager. You work fucking 7 days a week. It's your job to have this team fucking perfect and work on everything that needs to be worked on and get the team, like, you know, the way the team plays, a good manager should have fucking 90% control over the team on match days. Like, yeah, the team's out there and there's room for creativity and mistakes and everything, but there's a lot that managers and coaching staff can drill into players, and not much looks drilled into these players in terms of tactics or what they should be doing and how they should be approaching different situations and shit. It looks very bland. It doesn't look very deep in terms of what we do, and it doesn't change much depending on the result. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, the performance really falls, and the result and the, you know, consequences of this result fall on Steve Corica. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's, I don't want to say Corica out. At the game, I like nabbed round at full time to where the tunnel was, and the tunnel was just attached, like you could see in to the Sydney dressing room, and all I could see was Steve Corica, and I ended up yelling at him. I'm like, Stevie, what the fuck are you doing? Which I really want to know an answer to. Like, we get nothing. We get, oh, he was good, there were opportunities, it'll get better, but like, we never get like, oh yeah, we fucking suck, there wasn't enough effort, I'm gonna kick the fucking players at training. Like, I want to hear that, even if it's not true. Like, say something fucking negative, because it feels like the team, and I'd rather us just be shit and shit not work for us, and we are just terrible this season, than the team looking like it's got no effort and doesn't care. And I mean, that's what it kind of looks like now, and it's really annoying. But this is probably not going to be uploaded, because, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm all scatterbrained and shit. Yeah. I don't know. It's a hard game to talk about. It's just really sad still. I mean, I know I should be able to fucking sit here and, oh, we're gonna break this down, break that down, but like, I don't know. It's no fucking news. There's no fucking outrage. Like, the club's still shamelessly posting fucking garbage. Like, I think it's reasonable to ask, like, if you're managing a club's social media, yeah, post your fucking sponsorship shit, but like stop the advertising for a fucking day. Stop all the fucking bullshit for a day and just let the feeling of outrage and disbelief engulf the fan base. Cause like, I don't know. I really don't fucking know. But yeah, if I do upload this, if I recorded another one of these on Friday. This is Sunday now. I'll probably upload this Monday, and it was more whingy and less analytical than this video. And I didn't want to upload it because I was just bitching. And I was hoping this could be a bit more constructive and solid and like structured. And it really hasn't been. I feel like I've just gone off on tangents, but I've somewhat spoke about the Oakleigh result, and I think in the jumble of words that this video has been, I have made some valid points and pointed out a lot of the shit that I think was wrong with that game. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you did enjoy the video, if you got something out of this, let me know in the comments. I appreciate you watching through to, you know, the 20th minute of this video or whatever. But yeah, I'll leave it now because I've babbled through everything, and yeah, I'm still excited for the season and everything, but I don't want to be crap again. It's not fun. I know we're not the crappiest team in football, which is good, and there's always someone in a worse position everywhere all the time, but I don't want to have another crap season. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate it. I'll see you next time, and bye-bye.